is Hollywood.
Off Script with Michelle
And Michael. Mike, we're at the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Can you believe it? Tell me a little bit about this section. You're mentioning something about double stars.
Yeah. Well, in 2001, when they were in the process of revitalizing Hollywood Boulevard, they actually built the new Hollywood and Highland Center here. And this is actually one of only 2 areas on the Hollywood Walk of Fame where the stars are doubled up.
So here we have the Sons of the Pioneers next to Matthew Broderick.
Matthew Broderick.
And then on the opposite side of Hollywood Boulevard, we have single stars, as well as all the way down to Vine, I believe. Mike, this is where the Hollywood Walk of Fame started. This is where it all began. The first 8 stars were chosen out of a barrel. Their names were drawn, and they all received stars. Like from Joanne Woodward, like we talked about a little earlier, to Edward Sedgwick, silent film director, and even some unknowns, like maybe Burt Lancaster. I'm just joking. We all know who Burt Lancaster is, don't we?
Of course.
So yeah, also another hunk. Yeah, well, we're strolling down the Walk of Fame, and I think a lot of people wonder, what does it take to get a star on the Walk of Fame?
Well, today the Hollywood Walk of Fame is actually maintained by the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce, and it costs approximately $30,000 in order to get a star, which has to be raised by a group that is actually sponsoring whoever the celebrity happens to be.
I'm curious now, the celebrity, do they have to have certain achievements, or can anybody get them, or can a musician have one, or?
Yeah, exactly. Stars are awarded in 5 different categories, and I'm sure you know what they are.
I know a few, Mike, yeah. I do. Motion pictures, the recording arts, say Frank Sinatra as an example. Also radio, back when radio was big in the 1930s and the 1950s. And achievements in television and also on stage. So that's why you see different symbols in the center of these stars. You'll see a little television set, a motion picture camera. There's also, for the stage, you'll see the classic comic and tragedy mask, as well as a little recording device for those who made achievements in the recording arts. Did you know that Joanne Woodward was one of the first 8 stars to be inducted on the Hollywood Walk of Fame?
I did not know that.
Yeah, and guess who she was married to?
Paul Newman, of course.
That's right, the beautiful Paul Newman. Oh, those blue eyes. Yeah. Woohoo!
So this is Hollywood and Highland. It's actually the center of the redevelopment project here inside Hollywood. Opened in November of 2001. The center was actually designed to draw more people down here, and also includes the Dolby Theater, which is home to the Academy Awards now. The design of the theater, Michelle knows a little bit about.
I certainly do. Not only is this a modern structure, it also pays homage to old Hollywood with the large elephants and columns that you see behind us. They're designed after the motion picture Intolerance, which was filmed by D.W. Griffith in 1916. And these elephants and columns are actually to scale. So in combination with this shopping area and the Dolby Theater and all of our modern Hollywood, we still have a little touch of classic old Hollywood. We're on Hollywood Boulevard, and right behind us is the majestic and magical El Capitan Theater. It's a beautiful movie palace designed by Sid Grauman with the help of architect Charles Toberman. You can see how gorgeous it is. And when they first built this, they thought, let's do live stage performances as well as motion pictures. So they did, and one of the most infamous motion pictures to be shown here at the El Capitan was Orson Welles' Citizen Kane. He had a lot of trouble finding a place to premiere that motion picture. It was very controversial, but the El Capitan stood up, said, open the doors and show your movie here, Orson. And they did.
As the Paramount, the theater struggled for years to find an audience until 1989, when the Walt Disney Corporation purchased and faithfully restored the theater back to its original state. Once again, it was renamed the El Capitan, and today it's home to most Walt Disney Picture premieres.
1 for Orson Welles, Citizen Kane, please. Thank you.
1 for Star Wars, please. Oh, sold out?
This is the Egyptian Theater, built by Sid Grauman in 1922. And he chose the theme of Egypt to build this fantastic movie palace because during the early 1920s, King Tut's tomb was discovered and it was all the rage across America, in fact across the world. So he capitalized on that to bring in audiences to see motion pictures here at the Egyptian.
This is the Dolby Theater. Opened in November 2001, it's currently home to the Academy Awards. Now, while I'm still waiting for my ticket, thousands of celebrities have actually walked the red carpet right up these stairs and inside the main auditorium.
Behind us is the Hollywood Pantages Theater. It was built in 1930, and that made it into a classic Art Deco style. It's beautiful inside, and it has a very special place in Hollywood history. During 1949 to 1959, it was home to the Academy Awards and the first televised Academy Awards. So when you're watching at home and you're seeing it on your television now and you watch those huge 3-hour extravaganzas, it all started right here, televised and hosted by Bob Hope.
In 2000, the theater underwent a $10 million renovation and upgrade. But interestingly enough, in 1929, the original building was supposed to be 12 stories tall. Unfortunately, the stock market crash happened and all that was produced is the existing theater today. Now in 2007, developers brought forth the idea of reconstructing and rebuilding those missing 10 floors based on the original plans. All that was occurring when the revitalization of Hollywood Boulevard, including the building of the W Hotel across the street, was taking place. No one really knows what happened to those plans. As you can see, the theater doesn't have those additional 10 floors, at least not yet. Now today, it's home to many Broadway productions, including Lion King, and one of my personal favorites, and the only one I've been able to see inside the theater, Wicked.
The Blossom Room, the site of the very first Academy Awards in 1927. And in a small room, there were hundreds of guests honoring Best Picture, Best Actress, Best Actor. But believe it or not, the Academy Award winners were announced 2 months prior, so everyone already knew. They were just here to celebrate each other and give each other the accolade of the iconic Oscar statue. And we're at the beautiful, gorgeous, iconic Graumans Chinese Theater. And Sid Grauman was known as the grand showman of movie palaces. This was the second movie palace that he opened in 1927 in conjunction with silent film actors and moguls of the movie industry, Douglas Fairbanks and Mary Pickford. And it's all designed, as you can see, in a very, very Chinese mode, hence the Chinese theater, and the two lions up front welcoming visitors in, the site of multiple premieres, and of course the classic forecourt where we have handprints and footprints of many of our favorite stars, silent film, current, even droids like C-3PO and R2-D2. Where's Michael? Is it Michael?
Oh, hey. Steven Spielberg. And George Lucas. Doesn't get any better than that.
Norma Shearer. Perfection.
My Meryl. Oh, and also the most nominated actress of all time.
Sid Grauman.
One of the most loved and respected actors of this or any other decade, Robin Williams.
Marion Davies.
Robert De Niro. Name speaks for itself.
This is Joan Blondell, our Joni, the pre-code queen.
And the Hollywood Hills are alive thanks to Julie Andrews.
Luella Parsons, you cannot keep a secret around this woman.